Hey everyone, it's great to be here today. So I'm Marius, I'm the co-founder of iWander, which we're going to dive into a bit more detail today, but essentially what iWander is, it's an AI-powered personal guide for in-destination exploration. So I just want to start by saying I'm so thankful to Dan and the whole team for having us here today and organizing this incredible event. Because I think, we're all aware that AI is going to transform every aspect of our lives, including travel. But what excites me the most about AI and travel is this ability to achieve curation of travel content and experiences on a mass scale. And this is something which we're really going to dive into a little bit deeper today. We're also going to explore how AI is sparking some industry-defining collaborations between big travel names and startups like us at iWander. And we actually have two of our iWander partners who will be joining me up on stage a little bit later. But first, let's just take a little moment to chat and dive into what we're building here at iWander. So for us, everything begins with our customer, the modern traveler. So let's start with them. Today's generation of travelers are stark contrast to the travelers of the past. Gone are the days of planning trips through guidebooks, through travel agents. Today's travelers like to do everything themselves and travel smartphone in hand, ready to explore at a moment's notice and often making travel plans on the go. And for me, the stat that sums this all up is that 76% of independent travelers arrive at a destination with no clear plan of what to do. We call this new generation of travelers the wanderers. They don't belong to just one generation, one demographic, one age group. They can only be categorized as being more independent. They don't like being in big groups, and they love the feeling of being in control of their holidays. They're more spontaneous. They don't like to book in advance. They don't like being constrained by rigid plans. They're more curious. They travel on foot. They wander. They want to understand more about the local cultures, the people, and the destinations they visit. And finally, it goes without saying, but they're more digital. They do everything through their phones. And the stats really back this up when we look at what they use to discover a new destination. So the way I like to kind of see this is that there's always this preconceived idea that the only way to travel is to buy a guidebook before you travel, and then once you're in destination, you book a local tour guide. This simply isn't happening anymore. Only 5% of travelers buy a guidebook, and only 3% of tourists take guided tours in destination. So what tools do they use? Well, looking at what they use, it all starts with their phones. The top two travel tools to discover a new destination are Google Maps and Wikipedia. And if you think about it, it makes sense because it's easy, it's instant, it's on demand. It's what people expect in an age where Netflix and Spotify have set the standard for on-demand content. But there's one big problem. Wikipedia and Google Maps aren't tailored to travel. They're not curated. They lack that deep local insight that can really transform your trip. And the biggest drawback from using these types of tools is that they often lead to generic last-minute decisions on what to see, what to do, or where to eat. We've all been there. When we're in destination, we use Google Maps to try and find a restaurant, and we end up eating in a tourist trap when there's a wonderful, authentic restaurant just next door. Well, what we've done, we've built iWander to fill this void. What we've built is more than just a navigation app or a content platform. It's your personal guide, transforming the way in which we explore new places in a way which is personalized, curated, and on demand. So this is what iWander is. iWander is your personal guide for in-destination exploration. Our recommendations are personalized. So whether you're into gourmet food, art, history, iWander tailors your experience to match your interests. It's then all about delivering a curated sightseeing experience and engaging content. We go beyond those basics, those tourist traps. What we do is we offer audio stories and local insights that bring each new destination to life. And finally, we mentioned it, but it's instant and on demand. We offer real-time recommendations and content. So from finding a cozy cafe nearby to uncovering hidden gems, our suggestions are always in sync with your location and your mood. So let's take a quick tour with Wander, our AI-powered guide. You basically start your interaction by either searching for a particular place or topic, geolocalized searching what's near you, or taking your phone out and scanning a point of interest with your camera. So for instance, let's imagine we're at the Eiffel Tower and we've either searched for the Eiffel Tower, used a geo search, or like taken a photo of the Eiffel Tower with our phone camera. A quick interaction with Wander and you're immersed in captivating stories and facts about the Eiffel Tower, its construction. But it's not about just listening, it's also interactive. So, basically what happens is that you're guided through the city whilst you explore on foot. And as you go, you can type questions, you can ask questions through voice search, or even let Wander suggest your next adventure. Whether once you're done with the Eiffel Tower, you can either dive deeper into the myths and legends of the tower. You can learn about the nearby Champ de Mars and its association with Napoleon, or you can take a detour to the nearby bridge for some more Instagrammable photo shoot opportunities. So iWander is interactive, it's intuitive, and it's always learning about your preferences to make each recommendation better than the last. Okay, so at this point, I hear you saying, all right, cool, but has it really personalized? Has it really curated? So this is where our product really kicks in. So first, you can actually select your guide according to your sightseeing preferences. So for instance, Andre here will give you deeper historical information on each track and more history-based suggestions. We've got Bella, who you can't see here, but Bella's more hipster. She focuses more on cultural content and more off the beaten track points of interest and experiences. And then there's also Frankie. So Frankie is our family guide. It's perfect for children. It will focus more on more fun and gamified content that the whole family can enjoy. Next, you can actually further tailor your profile so that your personal preferences are taken into account. So, for instance, if I'm a vegetarian, I'm crazy about Renaissance art, and I'm also a huge theater fan, I can indicate this, and the content and experiences that are presented to me will adapt accordingly. So ultimately, this is all geared towards delivering our customers, not only the best possible experience they could have, but also the opportunity to buy the perfect product at the perfect place and at the perfect time. Whether that's a restaurant reservation, an entrance ticket, or in my case, a ticket for an upcoming theatre production. And this is really the true power of what we've built. What we've essentially done is flip that OTA model upside down. We lean in with digital content and contextual relevance, and then we sell a product instead of just relying on search. So now let's take a quick zoom out and look at the bigger picture, because what you've seen of iWander is just the tip of the iceberg. The real magic really happens when we bring this innovation to larger travel brands. So our model is actually quite unique in that we're offering this tool to travel companies so they can implement it directly into their own apps and engage and deliver this experience in their own branded environment. And this works equally well whether you're an operator, an airline, or a hotel. And we'll see a couple of examples later. So, this idea of working with larger travel companies and the notion of collaboration is really key for us. Because in this fast-paced AI-driven era, the agility of startups combined with the infrastructure and the distribution of established companies is really a formula for innovation. It's not merely outsourcing R&D, it's about creating these deep strategic alliances that can foster mutual growth and better innovation. And I just found this report from McKinsey quite interesting because it highlights there's a significant rise in corporate startup engagements, which actually really shows a shift towards more collaborative, innovative business models. And if you ask yourself why is this happening? Well, for us it's just a no-brainer. For corporates, it's all about speed, and for startups, it's all about scale. So our model is designed with this in mind. For established companies, you can partner with startups, or startups like iWander. It can allow companies to quickly deploy AI-powered tools that can transform and improve the experience and the trips of the end customers. And for us, and startups like us, it just allows us to scale and deliver value to a larger customer base much quicker as well. So that is basically a quick snapshot of iWander and our vision for the future of travel. But now I'm eager to hear from our guests about their perspectives on these partnerships and just AI in general. So let's start the conversation. And I'd love to introduce our two guests. Jerónimo Cárdenas, who's General Manager at CitySighteeing Worldwide, the world's leading operator of hop-on, hop-off sightseeing experiences. Welcome, Jerónimo. And I'd also like to say welcome to Olly Nichols, who's the CEO of Attraction World Group, which is one of the world's leading providers of attractions and experiences. So, gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me here today.
Hi, Marius. Thank you very much for your presentation, your interesting comments on what you're doing, and for inviting me to attend this session.
Brilliant. Well,
thank you, Marius. And it's also great to see you chose a photo of me in Jerónimo's boardroom, which was probably about 10 years ago when I was a lot slimmer, more attractive, and had more hair. So thanks for that.
I'd say the hair's better now, but so I'd like maybe Jerónimo, if we can kick off. So I think you guys both sell experiences, kind of very different types of experiences, which you wouldn't necessarily associate AI with, operating sightseeing tours or selling attraction tickets. So what I'd love to hear from you guys is, what's your take on AI and how do you think it might fundamentally transform your existing business model?
Yeah, thank you very much for the question again. So if I understood you well, Marius, you want me to explain what we are experiencing through the AI, no? As you can imagine, everyone here has a cousin that is really clever and gave them a little speech about how they should use AI in order to make our business better. But in general, what I can tell you is that we've been thinking about AI already for a long time, and there are certain processes that are being transformed. Let's say, many of them are we could say in the back, so our clients won't see it at the beginning, but in what has to do with the real experience of our customers, I can tell you quickly that there are some things that we believe that AI is gonna change, and not only that, it's because the customers, our customer, everyone is traveling a lot. Even if you go to new markets, that's a very bad definition. But if we talk about India, if we talk about Asia in general, we see a lot of them traveling constantly as they have never done before, and these experiences that they are demanding have been changing a lot. So they need the perfect answers. They need the good answer, and there is where I think that AI is going to help us a lot. Well, in the past, I can give you some examples that are really being different now from what we used to do. But I can talk about 2 destinations that we just developed, where, for example, the audio commentaries that are in our buses have been developed using AI in a way more efficient way in terms of languages. That in the past used to be one of the problems we used to have. Is now we just do it, it translates, and we have someone, because we still we don't believe this magic is that perfect, so we will put someone to reread what the AI is doing and confirm that everything is perfect. But yes, it's a reality now in our sector, and the way our clients are demanding things, and the way we are giving it to them has definitely changed, no? And AI is playing there a big role in different ways, as I mentioned. But we believe that in the future it's all going to be in a different way, no?
Perfect. Olly, if I could actually ask you that same question in terms of how do you see AI transforming your business model?
Yeah, no, I think it's really interesting, Marius. Throughout my career in tourism, which now spans nearly 25 years, from being in destination with TUI to working alongside Jerónimo at CitySighteeing for many years, and now at Attraction World Group, the challenge for me has always been, how do you connect with the customer throughout their journey? So whether it is in destination, whether it's on a hop and off bus tour, or whether it's walking around a theme park in Orlando, at Attraction World, We are distributing through B2B with airlines, with tour operators, with retail partners, and then through our B2C partnerships, we're the number one specialist for Orlando within Europe. And what has always been difficult for me when you're pre-selling a ticket is you only have the customer for a certain amount of time before they travel. There's a lot of things you can do with pre-customer care where you have the call center concierge service phone out to a customer and try and help them plan. But with AI, we're able to automate a lot of that. So pre-travel, how can you create a really great kind of agenda for a customer before they travel out to Orlando? So, you're spending a fortune on tickets for Disney, Universal Studios, SeaWorld, Merlin Entertainments, all of these great products. But for a customer, it's very overwhelming because there's so much to do in such a short space of time. So we've implemented AI to help us plan for each customer based on their requirements. What do they want to go and see and do rather than being told what to go and see and do? It's two very different things. And then when they're in destination, how do you give them the history of Orlando, the best things to go and see and do, the best restaurants, the top secret tips for Orlando? What's the best time to go and queue up for the Velocicoaster at Universal Studios, or what's the best time to enter Walt Disney? And AI is going to help us achieve all of that. We've only just started that project. We're probably a year in now, but as we go forward from 2024 to 2025, for us, AI is about how do you reach the customer with the right content at the right time and the right type of content. Personally, for me, I think it's a game changer for anyone working within travel now, because that content piece was laborious. It took a lot of time. It took a lot of energy. It took a lot of money. And we can now do that not just in English, but in multiple languages all in one go. So I think it's going to have a huge effect, Marius.
Yeah, and if I can just jump on that as well, like I think I mentioned at the start of the presentation, but that aspect of curating on a mass scale, thanks to AI, is the thing which really excites me the most. So there's always this kind of like human element behind it, but using AI to like curate that and deliver like the perfect result for the perfect customer at the perfect time. Olly, I'd like to just stay with you. I mean, like, we've known each other for a long time, and I know you love working with startups. I spoke a bit about collaborative innovation during the presentation. I'd just like to know, like, what makes you so keen to work with startups?
I guess for me, it's been something that I've done now for the last 15 years. Working with companies like CitySighteeing or today at Attraction World Group, you have a lot going on day to day. So you have a lot of operational aspects. You're running a multi-million-pound business. So it's really difficult on where you apply your focus. That's one thing. The second thing is, we're cumbersome companies. We've got a lot of staff. We've got a lot of people. We have a lot of people who are used to working in a specific manner. By working with startups, you get a lot of new ideas. You get people who are working a lot quicker, a lot smarter. And you get experts in those fields. When you look at AI, it's so new to everybody. And I've been watching very closely what a lot of the big travel companies are currently doing. And then when I kind of compare that with iWander, and, it's been great to partner with yourself, Marius, not just because of the technology, but the team behind you and kind of your kind of outlook on the industry. It allows us to learn a lot more about our own business because you see things that we don't. You see opportunities that are unclear to us at times because you're in that space, you're living, you're breathing it, you're researching it. You have the tech team that are specialists in AI that are able to go away and test and learn. If I was to do that within Attraction World Group for, not just Florida Ticks, but also across our B2B partners, that would become, a full-time department, a huge cost element to the group. So, I guess for me, the same way we looked at ticketing at CitySighteeing, AI for me, it is that perfect project to work with a startup who are very enthusiastic about it, that really know it inside out, to be partnering with them and to be learning along the way as well.
Brilliant. And Jerónimo, I know you yourself, like personally, and also CitySighteeing has a great track record of, you know, working with startups and integrating them like into your product offering, your business models. I'd love to hear a little bit more about, you know, your experiences partnering with startups in the past.
Well, so from our perspective, I think it's also related to the fact that we kind of feel, so the managing staff, and Olly knows it very well, have been here for more than 20-something years. So we still have the feeling of when we started. And we started as a startup, and yeah, we really engaged with other startups, and we try to help them and support them. You can, in this industry that is quite specific, we have been working with all the ticketing systems. Some of them brought by Olly here, some of them where we developed it, but at the end we end up growing those companies together. But I can tell you the same from audio system companies, and yeah, we like to work with other companies. We are kind of specialized in what we do, but when we identify a company that is bringing something special into the table, we like to deal with them. We like to work together, and we like to get ourselves involved with that. We're not looking for any extra penny of everything. We want the industry to grow, and that's what we have doing, no? And for us, it's not only about a great idea that some clever guy just brought into the table. It's more than that. It's just meeting the people, bringing them to Seville, going out for dinner and enjoying some time. If it works, we will support and help. If it doesn't work, yeah, we will leave it like that. But we're that kind of personal company where we take things kind of personal, no? Yeah, I know you, Marius, already for, I don't know, 3.5 years. We've been working together. You put something special into the table. It liked us, but also it was very important, the relationship that our companies developed, and that is what we like. So business idea is very important, but as important as that is for us, in our case, the person that we're dealing with, no, and that relationship. So if I have to say also there have been other companies that we have been working with that brought special things into the table, and at the end the person wasn't that nice, but we still help them and develop. Olly might know who I'm thinking about, but there are different things that we can do together with anyone.
Brilliant. Well, I mean, I would love to stay here and continue this discussion all day, but unfortunately we've pretty much run out of time. So guys, I just want to say thank you so much for joining today, for your question, for your insights, your answers into all this. And yeah, look forward to maybe checking back in a couple of months on this same, you know, version 2 of the AI Summit, and seeing how our partnership has gone in, you know, 6 months, 12 months.
Perfect.
Will be great. I'm pretty sure that in that conversation we will put a lot of examples on the table about what we're doing with AI and how it is making our life better.
Brilliant. Well, I'll bring it back to Dan and the team, and thank you so much, everyone, and thank you, Jerónimo, thank you, Olly.